Hello, I'm Gianfranco Lentini with the Fire Island Pines Historical Society. The Pines Party is one of the most beloved traditions here in Fire Island Pines. It is a massive internationally known party that combines community, history, and philanthropy. This year marks 12 years of leadership under Allan Baum and Frank Liberto, so naturally we sat down with them to talk about all things history behind the party, to talk about the challenges and joys of producing such an iconic party, and to talk about what they hope their legacy is for the years to come. I hope you enjoy. The two of you have been at the helm of Pines Party for the last decade. So I want to go to the very start and I want to ask you, when was your first Pines Party?
I think it was Arabian Nights, and the Phoebe, and it was a fantastic party. It was a success. It was a great production. Um, we had a good time.
So what did it feel like when you finally did take the helm of Pines Party?
It was kind of a gradual thing. And it was in 2013, Edgar John Wilner had reached out to me. They were having some difficulty with one of the DJs who I knew. So he asked me to cut the step in, which I just smooth things over. And so that was really my first allotment in 2013. In 2014, they asked me to get more involved in it. I was involved in thinking of producers of the event.
Yeah.
And good at picking Guy and Vinny, who co-produced it that year. Then they asked me to run for the board that fall. And yeah, I think I was co-chair in 2014 and really took over for 2015.
I can only assume, as somebody who has only ever attended Pines Party, but does that feel like the big honor that I assume it is to be at the helm?
Yes and no. Yes, it's been very rewarding heading up Pines Party. It's been generally a great experience. It certainly has its moments. But no, when I look back at it, I'm very proud of what we've achieved.
Stepping into this, Pines Party has a long lineage from Beach 79 to gay men's health crisis having their beach party. How aware were you of the history of what having a party on the beach meant as you were then stepping into that position?
Frank and I actually were at Beach 79. I think we were at every GMHC morning party. I think.
We actually met in 1979, and Alan had I had a share, Alan had a half share, so it was convenient that we were both there. We're sort of at the party together, and the rest is history. It was fantastic. The production so beautiful, so simple.
I have vivid memories of Beach 79. It was the first thing ever like that. I had just moved to New York. It was indelibly imprinted in my mind. So I think we were all contributing to morning parties. I think we were at spray parties, the Ascension parties.
Beach 79 to me, as a summer renter and as a historian, it just has this title of legendary behind it. And did it feel like legend was being made when you were there? Did it feel that way?
It did at the time. At that time in the island, you had so many celebrities. We used to go on Saturday nights to the Ice Palace, and even though those nights are imprinted up in my mind every Saturday. But the beach party was lots of celebrities from the city. It was a very mixed crowd, straight and gay.
Yeah.
The production was amazing. The talent, they brought all sorts of talent. From the Ritchie family to Fran Jolie, which is going to visit, was her introduction she was 16 years old, I think, at Beach.
16.
And Bonnie Pointer, who I still remember, from that night. So yeah, it was spectacular.
Coming into the helm at Pines Party, what felt important to preserve in this party, and what did you personally think needed to evolve or change?
Well, I think I got involved because we loved nightlife. At the time, we loved nightlife. We loved music. In terms of the party itself, when we took it over when I got involved in 2013, it was very controversial. 2013, the party basically broke even. I think it made $6,000, $1,500 of which we gave to Stonewall. So it's a tremendous financial risk for the FAPOA, the Foundation, to take on. It was very controversial at the board. I heard yesterday that's why they asked me to run for the board, because they need to get people who were in favor of the party at the time, and one by one vote in 2013, even continuing the party. It was just a lot of financial risk at the time, and the hundreds of thousands of dollars they were laying out, and the tickets were sold at the last minute. The weather could be bad, so
Yeah.
in terms of what we want to preserve, obviously the community element of the party.
For me, the financial piece of it was as important.
Yeah.
They had previously they had discontinued the Pines Party Community Journal, and when Allan committed to turn the revenue around and show a profit, I thought, well, why not? Let's just bring the journal back, and so it's a significant contribution to the fundraising efforts. And that drives me. If I were to do something, I mean, but trust me, I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's very creative. I come from the creative background. And, I also wanted to make it more community oriented. The overall theme is voices from the community, where I've got a lot of writers from the community writing about important issues, as well as some fun stuff. So, and people love it.
You are producing a internationally known party where you never know what the weather is going to be or what condition the beach is going to be in. This is different than producing a Broadway show. The theater is going to be there, whether or not the show's a hit. But what is it like to produce a party at this scale, not knowing if your stage is literally going to be there?
Well, one of the things was developing the other sources of revenue here, so we're not at risk for selling tickets the week of the event and the weather forecast and all that. So, we've really focused on corporate sponsorships and balancing that with the community. We didn't want it to become overly commercialized. Beach party is a very expensive production. The tickets for the beach party don't cover the cost of the beach party. A pool party based right. The closing parties become a big event that year. We have the morning party, the VIP party, and the auction's an important piece of it too. In those days, I think we started the auction maybe in 2014, made $11,000. Now that's way down $100,000 too. So each of these pieces is important to the success of the event. And, as I said, I've kind of created a monster here. And as I turn it over, it's a bit of a challenge to keep all pieces going.
Yeah, so they'll figure it out. And for those who are not already aware, Pines Party, everything we do, is a huge fundraiser in itself. So can you give a small breakdown of where that money ends up?
Sure. From the beginning, when the party started in 1999, they picked Stonewall Community Foundation as the off-island beneficiary. I think over the life of the party, we've donated in 4 or 5 to Stonewall. So that in recent years, it's been 60 or 70,000 a year. We're one of their largest partners and consist of donors. That's the heart and soul of our charitable mission here, is raising money for Stonewall. The rest of the money stays on island for the Pines Foundation, and the Pines Foundation for POA has become very dependent on Pines Party revenues as we've done more in the community and to subsidize Whitehall, the environmental stewardship, Trailblazers Park, with the seed money came from Pines Party in 2021. And just POA is doing a lot more. We have more staff these days. So, without the Pines Party, we would be running at a deficit later years.
Now that we're touching upon it, Pines Party is like I said, it's an international affair. It's a multi-event weekend now from where it started historically, but it is still at its core community focused and community driven. And how do you balance that? It's the best of both worlds.
And that's really the balance. And in the old days, going back to when I started on this, there was a lot of community opposition to this party, even going up probably until COVID, I would say. We had people in the community writing letters to all government agencies, shut this down, they're trashing the beach, doing everything they can. And that, thank God, that's really gone away. Those voices have quieted. You've taken care of the beach. We get take extra precautions to take care of the beach these days. In my mind, it's a defining event for the community. It introduces people to the Pines. A lot of couples meet at Pines Party, future homeowner. I'm getting introduced to the community through Pines Party. And, when I ran for the board initially, I staked out, I'm here to support this party, and that's what I ran it. The fact that it's become an international event, I think, just speaks to what the team has accomplished. Yeah.
Something to me that is just as impressive as the party itself is what Guy Smith has talked to me about, his lead no trace policy, that you guys are there today and absolutely gone tomorrow, as if you never produced this $1 million event to begin with. How much labor goes into making that magic transition happen?
A lot. When the beach party is over, they immediately have a big cleanup crew come out. They start taking down the production. They clean the beach for like 2, 3 days. We take extra precautions for the dunes. Yes, we try to do it.
Because I can't tell you the endless amount of comments from people who don't know better, who are posting online about you're destroying the seashore, you're killing the birds, the piping clovers. This is an environmental obstruction. It just is not the case. That is not the reality. And I wish those people could come and experience just the amount of care and thought and love that is put into not only restoring the beach, but leaving it better than it was before.
Yeah, and getting back to community orientation here, I mean, you look at this party, and yes, people coming from all over, and we don't like to refer to it as a circuit party. It's different. We really go out of our way to distinguish it from other similar events.
Yeah.
But you look at the crowd there, it's a very inclusive crowd, all ages, gender, really all ages, which is pretty, people who may go out once a year, you could be 80 years old, they come to Pines Point. And so it's really nice to see that we mix of people who get drunk here and they just.
Yeah. We get to inhabit this place that feels like Narnia, and it really doesn't matter where you came from or where you're going, as long as you're just doing it with love out here. That's the point.
Beautifully said.
You have a history attending these parties. You have a history producing these parties. When did you first feel that maybe, your time at the helm was coming to an end?
It's a lot. It's a year-round job. I do it because I love the event. It's definitely a passion. And when people take it over, need to have the same passion for it because they just do. But at some point, we don't go out as much as we used to. We used to be experiencing not a lot of nightlife. I've gone through my list of favorite DJs, except for one, where they tried to get this year, but it didn't work out. So it's just the group. I have amazing talent in the group, and this year when we decided we're going to turn it over here. I mean, they've stepped up. They have great new ideas. And so it was just time.
I think it's kind of our responsibility to, put it in good hands. And as Alan said, this team, we've been working with for a long time, and, they're so capable. And also, I think it's important to turn it over to another generation and let them experience and the joy and the reward that we get at the end of the day.
What advice do you impart to that next class who's taking this over? I imagine there has to be a lot of significant advice.
I mean, we're working very closely this year, so this is a transition year. Nick Amatoro's kind of the one who's kind of stepping into the major role, I would say. So it's Raf Kuhn, Nick Amatoro, and Nate Pinsley. Nick is overseeing all the revenue stuff. So the sponsorships, the journal, the marketing, the auction is all under his purview. And that's really what takes a tremendous amount of time. Yeah. Diving for dollars constantly. Sponsorships take a lot of work. Raf is overseeing all the productions, so well on efficiencies across all the events now, which is terrific. And Nate is taking our budgeting to a way new level. That I worked with Excel spreadsheet that I put together like 5 years ago. It's the one Excel spreadsheet I ever did, and so he's kind of takes it into the 21st century now.
So I'm gonna pull a RuPaul moment for a second and ask, what do you know now that you wish you could have told yourself 10, 11 years ago when you decided, let's do this. Let's be the captain of the ship?
It's been an evolution. I can't say, it's basically something we've grown with the group, I think. Believe me, it's not just me and Frank on this. It's a whole team of people that have been working with us for 10 years, and we figured it out. And every year stuff works, stuff doesn't work. So every year we get better at what we do. And that's maybe something I learned. At some point, you just need to cut off the ideas and focus on what we need to do and get this done.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of work. It is rewarding, believe me. I'm not complaining. It is rewarding.
How does the theme get picked? What goes into that?
Guy and Robert and the creatives get their creative juices flowing with their group, and they generally present a theme to us in the fall.
Okay.
Sometimes it takes massaging. Sometimes it's a slam dunk. This year, the theme was presented highly developed, I would say, by the time we heard about it, and the team loved it. It's a little esoteric this year. We're going to be rolling out some ABCs for people, like dumbing it down a little bit.
Oh, concerned about what to wear.
It's all about what to wear. It's all about what to wear at the end of the day. But no, they take the theme very seriously, and I don't get too involved in the creative. So it varies year to year, but it comes out of Guy and Robert this year. But the rest of the team kind of baked it, presented it, and yeah. Toon Island was a light theme that people loved. Yeah, one of the things I'm most proud of is really the talent we brought in from Allan's Party.
Yeah.
And I don't know what musical taste is, but I hate circuit music. I've always hated circuit music. And we've been very intentional about bringing as fantastic world-class talent in. In the old days, we discussed LGBTQ versus, crossover, whatever. But so I think we've distinguished the event by the quality of the musical lineup.
Yeah.
And so I'm very proud of that. And no other event like this, and there aren't that many events like this, maybe Winter Party, is as progressive with their lineup. And some people want circuit music, but we don't do it.
So, okay, picture it. The sun comes up on beach party. Morning party's a success. The closing party happens. You guys are sitting here relaxing. How do you want your time with Pines Party to be remembered?
The parties have been pretty successful in recent years. So we get plenty of accolades on the party, and whether it's from the community, the board, the people who go there. So I don't need any more accolades. I think people appreciate what we do. The community appreciates what we do.